Headed up on the 5 minutes. Not really telling us much right now. Uh, I kind of don't want to make a move when we're here in the center. We do have heavy money outflow, right? Direction on the 1R is headed up. Volume bearish, but very, very little. Momentum bullish. So we're getting mixed bags from BTC tonight. And let's see here. Let's go to Ethereum. Interesting. So very similar. 1 hours showing that we could be headed up. We've got that uh, inflow right there. Volumes transitioning. Uh, volumes transitioning on the 5 minutes. 1,164. So potentially we could go there, right? So that is food for thought. And we could scalp this actually. So generally what I'm looking for when I'm scalping is, of course, we want that bias from our higher time frame, as well as bias from where liquidity is. And as you guys saw earlier, for those who have been in the show for the past 4 minutes, there's quite a bit of there's more liquidity topside. So we could scalp this. I might have to look for an entry. Ooh, oh, perfect. Okay. Interesting. Okay, this is interesting. So we have an bullish order block right here. This has become the money flow point of control. Our dynamic reactor is green, our quantum reactor. So for those who are in the Pro Plus, I do have, that's not my, it's right over here. I do have my quantum reactor set to slow. So essentially, I'm treating these as my moving averages. Traditionally, people will use sort of like the SMA 50, SMA 200. I'm treating these as my moving averages. I found that they act very similarly to your 50 and 200, even if they're not your SMA 50 or 200. And so this looks like a very good point, possibly, to take a long. Interesting. I know we were supposed to go with Solana next, but ETH's looking pretty good. So let's see. Your premium zone is here. It might be a squeeze, right? But if you enter Ethereum either at market or at 4120.53 stop loss below the order block and go for the measured move, what's our RR? Oh, okay. 1 to 2. That's pretty decent. So you can set your order at 4120 or go at market price and get it around 1.5 risk to reward. I do see this panning out pretty well for us. Especially because the 1R does have that long wick at the end. So yeah, first call for the live scalping session. 4120 entry on Ethereum long. Stop loss below the order block on the 5 minutes, which is around 4,097. You could go lower to 4,082 if you want a bit more security, but we'll check back on what happens here later. And yeah, let's move on to Solana. All right, so okay, so Solana is a bit different because we do have this rising wedge. And hold on, let me just check who's in the show. So welcome everyone, welcome to the show. I am Langstrom. I'm joined by OC, and yeah, thank you for coming to this live scalping session. And again, if you have any questions about any coins you want to look at, just type it in the chat and we'll have a look. But first, let's finish up with our TA on Solana. So Solana on the 1 hour does look bullish. We're both green on the dynamic reactor. It's above the quantum reactor, and it's also confirmed that we are in a bullish trend. However, because we're in a rising wedge, we do have a measured move all the way down to the order block at 170. All right. Oh, sorry. ETH. If you did join the ETH scalp, you should be up. And our first take profit is going to be at 4137. Oh, it's not what I meant. Get a horizontal line. So first be at 4137. Just put your stop loss to break even there. But anyways, back to Solana. Interesting. Okay. So we were bearish a couple hours ago. 1810. Yeah, 3 hours ago. We were bearish on on Solana 5 minutes. But we do see that the dynamic reactor is above the quantum reactor, and we're just touching it. We could get a rejection back down to the money flow point of control because we do have that wick. But because our volume is transitioning bullish, our direction is headed to the top side. I do see us possibly punching back to 202. Now, I don't want to ignore the market dynamic, smart target, and measured move. So it is something to watch out for. And we just touched the FVG on the 1 hour. So I'm not confident in giving any signals on Solana just yet. Uh, Possibly we could push all the way up to 202 and then dump down. So something like this, right? All the way down to the smart target at 193 right here. But right now it's kind of a stretch, and if I'm not confident, I'm not going to give you guys the signal. So yeah, so that seems to be it for the big three. Let's delete these. Check on Ethereum. All right. Okay, lovely. So let's see. Oh, so welcome, Boosted Boy. Thanks for joining us. Hex Mode. Thanks for joining us. And I think your name's too long, M. So forgive me if I can't welcome you properly. But thank you for joining the show. Yeah. All right. Now, I did have a couple of coins that I wanted to look at today. So let's check them out. Uh, Ethereum. Okay. Well, thank you. And um, obviously, we're all learning. We never stop learning as we grow. So if you guys have any comments or ideas for how I can improve, do let me know as well. Yeah, thank you. All right. A coin I wanted to check out and sort of show you guys is ZEC, uh, USDT.P. Because as I was looking at it earlier, it was doing this crazy rally, but now we're overbought. And we did get this sort of it's an indecision candle, and we're trying to see if we can get that retracement. But generally, I am bullish, or how I see ZEC is going to be quite bullish. So I see us possibly retracing down to maybe the FVG at 329 and headed up, because as you can see, your 618 is at 333, FVG right here. Your 1 hour is headed up as well. So let's monitor ETH. Okay, ETH's going back down, but let's hope that it doesn't stay that way. But generally speaking, I think this is a very good coin to scalp at the moment. Love the volatility on SEC. Excuse me. So yeah, my second call for this stream, and we're going to monitor these. It's going to be here at around I want to put it at 329, and hopefully that shows up on the 1 hour. All right. And then right here below this wick, and then I see us pushing up to 340 potentially. So this could be considered more of a swing since we're waiting for it to come down and hopefully seeing it swing to the top. But that is a 1 to 2.38 risk to reward ratio. So this might be a great call right here. And yeah, welcome Saints. Thank you for joining us on the stream. I am Langstrom, and I'm just happy to be here with you guys. So if you have any questions or coins you want to bring up, just let me know and we can have a look. So yeah. Other than Zek, I also wanted to look at Vine. So let's see if I could. There we go. Vine. Ah, okay. These jumps are weird, kind of scary with those jumps. But the reason I wanted to look at Vine is because we did get multiple bullish divergences here, as well as a peak seeker on the 1 hour. So while we are in this, it's a bullish order block, but has a very huge bearish imbalance. I do see us potentially pushing this and really getting uh and really making some gains here, as well as liquidating some of the weaker trades. And we did stay bullish on the 1 hour. So I've sort of repurposed the dynamic reactor and the quantum reactor to be like your moving averages. So I essentially treat the dynamic reactor, which is in your market dynamics, as a short moving average, and your quantum reactor as your longer moving average. And you can see that we also got this bullish cross on the 5 minutes. So this is very rare where we have just two order blocks right there. But I do see a break to the top side for Vine, and I mean, it looks good. So let me go back here. Right. Let's check on ETH again. Okay, so we did get our push back to the upside from earlier, and we did get our SL to BE or TP1. So if you did join the ETH scalp, make sure to put your stop loss to break even, and hopefully you were able to take a little bit of profit earlier. But yeah, put your stop loss to break even for Ethereum, and then let's just see if this can continue to ride to the target. Nice, nice, boosted boy, nice. Yeah. So if you joined at the time I called, you'd either have entered at the market price, which was around 4126, or the entry at 4120. Though it never revisited it, so more realistically, I would say it would have been here at 4120, 4124. So we're looking at about, let's see here, a 1 to 5 risk to reward. Yeah. All right. So, welcome JD to the show. Thank you for joining me. I am Langstrom, and yeah, we're just checking out some coins right now. We have Vine, and I am a little bit bullish on Vine, at least for scalping. I don't hold any Vine. Yeah, let's see here. Hmm. See how ETH's doing. Let's let's hope we don't get stopped out at our stop loss to break even. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, delete that. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Okay. All right. So I would enter Vine at market price right now. Uh, right here, or what would market price be? Right here. Yeah, or wherever your exchange places you at, and then my stop loss will be below. Um, let's see, stop loss right here below the money flow point of control. And typically with these sessions, I'm going to try to aim for 1 to 1.5 minimum for you guys. So here. And the reason I don't want to aim too far is because these are scalps. Volatility could kill us, and ideally, I want there to be enough return for effort. So yeah. So entry at 0.047. It is in drawdown right now if you're joining, right? But I trust that this will bear fruit. Now, ETH might get stopped out. We'll have to see at 4126. Let's see how Bitcoin's looking right now. So, Bitcoin with that red candle, FVG bearish order block on the 1 hour, but still fairly bullish on the 1 hour. You can see how making the dynamic reactor the short moving average sort of really checks out for us, right? And it's a great place to sort of put your stop loss below. Obviously, it got invalidated here, but here, if you placed it below your dynamic reactor, it would have been amazing, even with the multiple bearish divergences, right? And we should see, yep, we did get a pump. We're not stopped out yet on Ethereum, and somehow we jumped candles on Vine, and we're back up to the top side. So yeah, okay. Seems like we are pushing down a bit. And let's see. I did also want to look at Fartcoin recently. So I have a love-hate relationship with Fartcoin because back when it was introduced, Fartcoin sort of never followed what BTC or Solana did. It sort of had a mind of its own. And that kind of got me wrecked a couple times. Not destroyed my portfolio, but it did wreck me a little bit. Uh, but that said, it is kind of following Solana a bit with the rising wedge, right? Measured move down to 0.31. It's crazy. Um, we did get bullish divergence right here, and uh, we do have transitioning volume as well. So yeah. Oh, welcome to the show. I think your name's too long. K, and I think frick, I forgot the name of it. I'm old, guys. I forget the names of uh is that Kirby? But yeah, thank you for joining the show. I'm Langstrom, and yeah, we're just scalping right now, checking out some coins. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Uh, and if you have any suggestions for how I might improve, just let me know as well. So yeah, so Fartcoin is showing sort of my strategy with the reactors. It's about to cross, and so typically I'll wait for the cross to happen. Oh, oh, lovely. So thank you for joining. And again, this show will be up every Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So yeah, okay, all right. Ethereum showing some strength. We did get we're back to TP1, and hopefully we can close above TP1. But we do have this downward reversal triangle. So boosted boy, just be careful about it. Yeah, nice. But yeah, just be careful about the downward reversal triangle on the 5 minutes. Obviously the 1 hour is still on our side, but with scalping, volatility is both our best friend and our mortal enemy. So yeah, just be careful. So fart coin pushing up to the upside. Let's actually check on our Vine trade, which was a Vine long, and it's not looking too good, as you can see right here. We did push all the way back down. We're basically at entry, but we are hoping that we do get that push back to the upside because of these bullish divergences, upward reversal, as well as another upward signal. Excuse me. But yeah. Okay. Oops. Did I? Okay. I accidentally switched charts. Okay, back to BTCC. Oh, BTCC. BTC. All right. So Bitcoin just hit the bearish FVG on the 1 hour, and hopefully we can just continue past it. I'm loving the bullish divergence, not bullish divergence, sorry, the bullish cross of the reactors right here, as well as this complete transition to bullish volume, and the fact that your money outflow is starting to decrease, right? We're going back neutral. So we should be good, and possibly, right, we push back to the upside. I guess for scalps, your BNB trade unfortunately stopped out. Are we looking to re-enter? Sorry, my BNB trade? I don't think I had a BNB trade. Do you mean my Vine trade? But yeah, Vine's not looking great. And if you took the Vine trade, we've got the bearish divergence. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, sorry, that's not. um, sorry, that's not me. Okay, that's Runer. Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Um, I wouldn't know. I think you'd have to message him or like tag him in the chat to see if he'll respond. So I'm not entirely sure what to do about it. But I guess we can look at BNB right now. Just yeah, we can look at BNB. Why not? Right? Yeah. Actually, OC makes these. So uh, last week I didn't have a profile picture just yet. So I asked OC. Well, OC made me this profile picture, and I love it. It's like this nice white and black, very very ghost like. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean white's my favorite color. So whenever we start these shows, typically you'll find me in a white polo shirt because I just got off campus. So I still go to university, and it's evening where I'm at. So you'll typically see me in a white polo shirt. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, actually, my wardrobe is really just white polo shirts. I kid you not. But yeah, I. But okay, sorry. Enough of TMI. if if you ask all my friends, it's very. It'll be weird if you see me in anything other than a white polo shirt. Yeah, exactly. Keep it simple. You know. But okay, BNB, 5 minutes, 1 hour. Does look good, right? We got that dynamic reactor and quantum reactor cross. That's a bit drastic, actually. Very nice. Let's see. So we did get the smart. We missed the measured move on BNB. Symmetric. Okay. We do have an order block now with it's basically balanced, but 100% of the volumes right here. So right now, I wouldn't enter into a BNB long, right? We got that reversal triangle, our direction's down, but I am bullish maybe for the next 6 hours on BNB because our 1 hour's pointed up, your MVP ribbon, which is momentum, And if you guys don't know how to get your MVP ribbon, just get the Prime Oscillators Pro indicator, put it in your chart, and select MVP oscillator. It's superior to MACD, and it's my preferred momentum indicator because you get to see basically whether or not you're still overextended or if you have range to go up further. So yeah, so our MVP ribbon is transitioning bullish, and there is a lot of range for it to go. So I would probably re-enter on the retest, right? So for K, yeah, sorry, I really can't see your username. It really sucks. So I'll just call you K for now. Um, but K, if you're looking to re-enter BNB, I would suggest just wait for it to maybe come down to 1139. There's an FVG right there. If we bounce off of it, you'll be going straight to like 1153 or wherever Runair placed his take profit. Yeah. Runair is actually a really good trader, guys. I take some of his signals and honestly, they're top notch. Actually, speaking, oh, Kirbyus. All right. Thank you. So, yeah, thank you, Kirby, and I'm looking forward to have you weekly. So, we'll have another live tomorrow. We'll start on time, for sure. And yeah, okay. Speaking of one of Runair's signals, uh, where is it? Do I have it here? Okay, yeah. But okay, let's look at ETH. Oh, perfect. Okay, so our ETH scalp is up. So if you joined at market price, which is more realistic, right? You should be up about 0.69%, and we're looking for about a 1% uh, uh, pump to the upside. We do have our 1 hour great money flow, direction up. Our bearish. Our trend strength is weakening a bit, so we want to be a little bit careful with this. But if your SL's to break even, zero risk, you should be good. Right. Okay. Okay. BNB is still interesting. I just wait for that retest if it does come. Yeah. See Bitcoin. Look, we're facing a bit of resistance. We're also overbought on Bitcoin. So best be a bit more careful with our longs. Again, you can move your stop loss, boosted boy, to a little bit higher just to rake in a bit more profits from this because I feel like we are gonna retest TP1. Yeah. All right, perfect. Okay, let's look at the Vine trade. Probably, yeah, it's not really giving us some love. We're still in drawdown, right? We're not a lot of love from Vine, and I thought they would give it, but until we basically cross below this dynamic reactor, I think we should. Oh, sorry, if we don't cross below the dynamic reactor, we should be good. Uh, would I recommend you enter Vine right now? If you're entering based here on the 1 hour, maybe swing it. Yeah, I would. But if you're scalping it, might be a little dangerous now. But we did get this long wick to the downside, so manage your risk if you do want to enter. Oh, now we're at our entry, so the beauties of scalping, right? Just one you say one thing and then just 3 seconds later a whole different thing. Yeah. But volatility is our best friend as scalpers, and we need that volatility to really get gains. But obviously, right now, it's also a matter of placing your stop losses strategically so that the volatility doesn't really kill you. Yeah. All right, let's check who else is in the call. So thank you for joining me, you guys. Yeah. All right. So I haven't really heard from Saints or M. I'm really sorry, guys. For context, my monitor is like a 21 inch, so can't. It's not really that big, and so I kind of have to keep Discord minimized so that I can like keep the chat on, view the charts and whatnot. But yeah. Okay, so yep, retested our TP1. I doubt that we're gonna get an engulfing candle. We did kind of get it here, but I doubt it. Let's look at. Oh, lovely. Welcome, Saints. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Chart Prime. How are you finding your experience with Chart Prime so far? Great. If you have any questions or want any tips on how to use any of the Chart Prime indicators, let me know. We'll go through it with this session as well. Long top wicks on ETH on the 15 minutes. Let's check 15 minutes. I see what you mean. Yeah, so typically, I mean, obviously, you always want to wait for your close, right? And we have 30 seconds to close. And if we don't get this change of character close, I might consider it bad, or possibly might have to abort the long, because this is sort of a it's showing weakness, right? There's a lot of selling pressure here. And we can see that the most traded price, it's what these white lines are, is higher up on the wick. So a lot of people basically traded and shorted at 4152. So yeah, okay, we got our close. We did get that change of character close. We did get the transition. So how I see it right now on our scalp is that we still have a bit of runway. We just have to be very strategic about it. Obviously, risk management, stop loss, whatnot. But I do see that we could get some more topside. If we break past or possibly go below the previous candle on the 15 minutes, that would be problematic. Then again, your stop loss is already at break even, so there shouldn't be risk. SoFi, I have questions regarding. Okay, yeah, Chart Prime is great. Honestly, Chart Prime really does change the way you trade, the way you analyze the markets. I have questions regarding the indicators you are using and how to use them. All right, no problem. Thank you, Kirby. Looking at SoFi, scalp maybe. Right, let's take a look at SoFi. Vine's not really giving any love, unfortunately. So, oh, SoFi. Do you know what exchange you're on, by any chance? No. But yeah, let's NAS. NAS. SoFi. Does it happen to be any of these saints, or yeah? Is it this one? Oh, oh, oh. What is this symbol? I've never seen it before. The delisted alert, no longer publicly traded. Huh. Oh, Nasdaq. Okay. All right. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. All right. SoFi. Let's look at SoFi. Damn, that is a very interesting handle. Oof. Might be a little late to to join in on the party. It is still bullish. Um, got the nice volatility there. The question is whether it's a short or a long. I think we'll have to wait for this to close before we decide. But let me check the 15 minutes. We did get to the smart target. Let's look at ETH again. Okay. Yeah, it is quite risky. Uh, yeah. Yeah, we'd have to wait to see, but generally right now the fact that we have this long wick premium, red body, still a bullish direction. I don't know. I think we'll have to wait. If we close a little bit more bullish, maybe a long to the measured move, stop loss below the 618, but alternatively, I mean, I wouldn't take a short just because our reactors are like this, as well as the fact that we're still green on the 1 hour. But this could be a big topper candle, right? This could be big topper candle, short back down to this FVG or point of control, and then we head back up from here, right? Could be that. But this was a beautiful triple bottom, push up, retest, push back up. Would be interesting. Yeah. All right. Let's check on our Ethereum. We're really holding strong on the first TP. And I guess to help you guys with how I decide what my first TP might be, I have the market dynamics give me, where is it? Support and resistances. I do midterm, and then that's what I use as my first TP and whatnot. So I look for the lines up top, and that's how I decide. It's as simple as that. And I think we're going to get invalidated on our scalp for ETH. But it was a good run. Not exactly a push, but we did get to where we wanted to be with ETH. Well, actually, we didn't get there, but yeah, at least zero risk. But that brings me back to Vine. So let me pull up Vine. Crypto back to Bluefin. Ooh, okay. Oh, oops. Might as well lock this. Yeah, that's a scary thing. We just keep getting rejected around this area. Long wicks. There might be hope for Vine. And let me pull back to Ethereum. We're experiencing the same thing. Wild. Okay. But yeah. Actually, wait. What was my train of thought again? Runair. Yes. So something interesting I want to show you guys, and I think I'll be showing this on every stream that I'm on. Let me just change this here. Go to 1 week. Uh, there we go. Yeah, so here's something I wanted to show you guys. So Bitcoin on the 1 week, right? We got this nice trend line. We got this nice FVG down here starting at about 92, we got bearish divergence, we got heavy money outflow, bearish volume, bearish trend strength. And so for me, I see Bitcoin falling all the way back down to this weekly FVG, get that liquidity, convince a lot of traders that the bull runs over or this market's going to become a bear market. And from here, we bounce back up. And I think Runer also called something very similar. We have different entries, but generally speaking, we have a very similar thesis. So I do see us going back all the way down. I mean, we did that last time when Bitcoin was at 73K. And you can see every single time we're around the lower extremity at around negative 74.9 on your chart prime oscillator, we always pump to the upside, right? There's not a lot of data, right? I don't even know what to call this, right? But for me, I see this in line with rate cuts. I see this in line with the TA, and I see us pushing up to the top, right? So the Gaussian channel or the fifth EMA, it's possible, right? I think it's possible without invalidating the Gaussian channel. It could be just like a flash wick to the downside. Because we've had that before. Like, for example, this candle here at around February, big flash wick back to the top. We also had it most recently in October, big flash wick back to the top. Yeah. Yeah, so long as it doesn't close below. I don't see us closing below, because if it does close below, then yeah, we're probably done for the bull market. If we close below, um, for me, my invalidation point's around 74. I know it's low. Uh, let me just grab my horizontal line. I know it's low, but if we close below 74, 745, I do think that this suddenly becomes a very ugly head and shoulders and we head down. But generally, I don't see that happening. What I do see possibly in the cards is that we go all the way down to this weekly FVG, which is also, if you know your Elliott wave theory, where is it? Here. It's also your 618. So this is just like a trading view. Like trading view itself gives you this indicator. I don't really trust it as much in the sense that it's not, for me, it's not as reliable as something like the CPO plus. But it's nice to see that the math projection is there. Right. Yeah. So for me, again, it's possible we go all the way down here, which is why as much as I want to give like short swings, I mean we did give a short last live and it was on BTC. We can go back to it actually. Where was it? Where's our short? 5 minutes. Where's our short? Is it all the way down here? Yeah, there we go. So I called this on the live, but funnily enough, when I called it, I didn't have audio. So people were just watching me chart on screen live, and then we fixed it like 20 minutes later. And when it was done, we hit full take profit. But anyways, yeah. Oh, ETH's moving back up. Yeah, lovely. Okay, so we might be on. We might go for a measured move. So yeah. Uh, let's hope that this 1 hour really pushes us, right? I do see a firm rejection at premium. Yeah. But yeah, so the Bitcoin short, and I was calling shorts because that day obviously things looked a bit bearish, and even now I do think that things are still a bit bearish. I'm not fully convinced that we're headed to all-time highs again because we keep failing to. Actually, it's probably better if I pull up something like the 4 hour to illustrate. Right, this was our all-time high, 126 at, when was this? October 7th, right? Earlier this month. We keep essentially failing to break past our this FVG. We keep failing to break past the quantum reactor. We tried right here, we got rejected. Dynamic reactor, right? We made a nice double bottom, great. Uh, and now we're retrying, we got rejected again. And now there's even an FVG right here. So I see us possibly, not that, I see us wicking here maybe, rejected again. But we'll have to see, right? Because truth be told, this level of support right here, or this support right here rather, it's held twice. But if we break down again, will it hold? Not entirely sure, right?
Hey, Langstrom,
And
how's it
that's the
going?
thing about trading.
Do you
Oh,
mind if I take
who's
over for
here?
a second?
Oh, hi OC.
Hey, what's up? How's it
Oh,
going?
absolutely. Go ahead. I'll stop streaming.
Yeah, perfect. So now
All
that
right.
we're talking about swing trading, hey, that's something I can do that too. But let me show you something.
All right.
Yeah, talking about the weekly and stuff. Let me go over Bitcoin really quickly here. You might be able to see my screen right now, and I want to show you a couple of things. Let me go first to a cleaner chart. All right, this was my analysis from yesterday. We are on a broadening wedge, and very important, just like you mentioned, we are. Let me go to this one because I already have it drawn. We are right now on a big support area, right? I mean, if we divide this whole broadening wedge or this huge range into little ranges, we'll see that we have, for example, one ranging here, another ranging here, another ranging here, right? And right now we're having the volatility proper of a range trying to break out, right? So this tends to happen a lot. I would say that market cap will define whether if this is a flat positive bullish continuation or the end of the bull market. If we go back in history, well, we are at the edge of the bull market, right? So getting ready to fall on January, but falling also on November. So we just need to be careful. I also agree with you on the line. My first area of re-entry is going to be 102 and then 100K. And after that, my next area of entry is between 85 and 82. I know you're looking at around the 70 zones, which is, I think, still really on spot. And I think that if we see like a big dump with that wick, that will be it, right? But getting back to the weekly, let's go to a cleaner charting here. Let me go here and let me show you something interesting. By the way, this works on Coinbase. No, sorry, on Bitstamp. All right. So let's go to Bitstamp. Make sure that you're on Bitstamp. And what does that work on Bitstamp? Because Bitstamp has the longest history available. All right. So other than that, we're going to be going to our indicators. So if you don't see the settings, make sure you click this little roll down menu or all the way at the top. You click it, and then you go to your Prime Accelerator Pro Plus or your Prime Accelerator Pro. It doesn't matter. Both of you have it, right? Click the gear icon in here, and then, well, let me show it to you right here, right? So you just go to the settings, gear icon, and then the oscillator select, VMP oscillator, the same one that you have on screen. And let me show you that on weekly or even monthly, all right, let me set this on logarithmic so we have a better perspective. And why is this not loading? Bitstamp. Hold on a second. All right, that's fine. Look at that. Between monthly and weekly, we have cut the bottoms of those bear markets. All right. Something important when we talk about macro markets. You become rich when I'm talking about money at this point because I believe that we're here to find something closer to financial dependence. All right. So you become rich not on the bull market, but in the bear market where everybody else is just losing their head, right? So why do you become rich in this thing? Because being rich is you having something that has value. Money itself is not backed up by anything at this point other than quote unquote economy, right? So that's why it's a fiduciary thing. So holding money, and then you'll see that really rich people, they don't have a lot of money. They have a lot of assets, right? They have land, they have investment, they have real estate, they had whatever, they have gold, whatever works for them, right? We are in the crypto world. So the asset for us is going to be crypto, right? Mainly Bitcoin. Why? Because Bitcoin so far, it is by far the strongest asset. So if you save up, all right, whatever you made on the bull run, all right, then let me ask you, how much do you still have of your gains from the bull run? All right, have you saved anything? If so, well, then keep them in compound savings. All right. And then when you start having, when you are below your zero line, all right. And by the way, your zero line, you need to add it manually. So you just click right here on the first top, second bottom top left, and then go for horizontal line. You click anywhere on your oscillator, right? You double click it again. You do coordinates 0 and then style. I like it the second thickness and straightforward. I mean, a straight line like that. Click OK. That's going to be giving you the zero line. So you ribbon first being below the zero line and then having those green bars, that is the start of your DCA, bright green bars on the weekly. If we go something like, in the monthly, if we go something like the weekly, the same thing applies, exactly the same thing. And you have a little bit more granular setup on what to start and where to end. All right, so look at this, for example, starting with those bright lines, you start your DCAing here, right? And then all the way till here, here's where you set your last entry. So you just do 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10% a week, as long as you have this bars. All right. If you run out of money, that's fine. That's fine. And then you'll see that almost immediately, and this was the FTX dump. And we all know that who created the FTX dump? It was Binance. So freaking CC actually manipulated the social media and exposed FTT or FTX to make it actually broke. All right. Why? Because yes, they were having trouble, but at the end of it all, they called them out publicly and they publicly sold all of their AFTF. All right. So they just crushed their competition like on purpose, right? So after that, look at that. If you would have collected or averaged down in here, what would have been? You'd actually return now that you are in this area. That would have been a net return, all right, out of, and let's just even call the top of it, out of 362%. Just think of this like if you were doing an X2 or even X3, and let's not talk about 10X or anything like that, because that is going to get you liquidated here. All right. So X2, X3 right here, that will give you multiply 362 times 2, right? That will be 700 something. All right. So that's how you become rich, accumulating your assets at the bottom of the bear market and then exchanging those assets or start exchanging those assets at the top of the bull market. All right. So just saying, I'm very, very, very excited about the bear market. I mean, I really wanted to start already, right? And that's because it's gonna let me grab some assets for cheaper and then start my journey to become or to improve my wealth by so much. And let me tell you that I've been holding on to those gains like there's no tomorrow. Right? Why? Because I'm gonna be exchanging them in the bear market for some crypto. And the trick is, if you have savings, like for example, I already have taken profit somewhere around here, 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 and there. All right. So this goes to compound savings. This goes to compound savings, goes to compound savings, and goes to compound savings. So when we get back at we're not gonna go all the way down here, but if we get back to 70s, when we get back somewhere around here on your dynamic reactor, and look at, we always have crossed our dynamic reactor, always, right? So that is another trick to call the bottom. when you start crossing your dynamic reactor and you stay there for a couple of weeks, that's also where you start looking at your MVP oscillator. So that is getting me multiply money to then add right there. All right. And then when I add right there, next cycle, I'm going to start selling once I get a 2x total growth, if that makes sense. So from here to the top, we're going to be looking at 200, like 200 growth. That is going to be my first taking profits at 382, right? And then the next one is going to be at 500K, just so you guys know, like this. That is again a 3x out of where we started in here. And why is that? Because of the market cap. All right. So just wanted to give you that little tip on where to start DCAing, and also do not be afraid of the bear market. Let me pass it over to you, my friend, because I think that we're hitting some targets, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you, OC. So
My pleasure,
actually,
my
the
friend.
ETH trade got full TP.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
So my and I agree, because it's the principles of arbitrage, right? Buy low, sell high. And so
Correct.
a lot of people might be afraid of price going down, but again, it's all about reframing the mindset. If you buy low, sell high. Price dumping is an opportunity to buy, and when it's high, that's when every retail trader apes in, and that's the perfect time to sell. Trade like a bank.
Absolutely. I had a question for you. Like, I know like every trader has
Yeah,
his own style, right? And I want to come out here to the public,
yeah,
to our alumni, and tell you, hey guys, if you're looking to trade, first take a look at many of the master structures, right? We have several of us, right? We have Runier, we have Langstrom, we have Alexa Crypto, and of course you got me, right? All of those do a little bit of a different niche. We have a different niche, and we have a different style. The point is that you need to pick and choose, right, parts of our style for you to create your own. It's not about copying what we do. It's about copying pieces of what we do to actually fit your own style, right? Hey, you see Langstrom doing this? Holy F, right? I mean, that makes so much sense. I'm going to be applying it to myself. That is because we all have a different way to perceive perspective. That is the truth of the matter. That's why we all make the same quote unquote mistakes, but our success story are slightly bit different, right? So everybody has a different way to make money, but when we talk about mistakes, we all do the same mistakes, all right? This takes me to ask you, Langstrom, what is the
yeah.
core points that you look to get into a long or to get into a short? Let me give you an example of kind of like what I'm looking for as an answer. Is like I'm looking for flip of the ribbon. I'm looking for a bottoming pattern, double bottom, swing failure pattern, or something like that. And most importantly, I'm looking for liquidity or momentum. And I get that from my oscillator. So what are kind of like the points that you look for? Like very simple. Like I look at this, this, and this, and boom, I enter a trade.
All right. So in terms of what I'm looking for, I 100% agree with you with liquidity, which is why I started the session with looking at fundamental analysis, because uh, I love chart prime indicators in terms of technicals, but I do find that sometimes having that public data for fundamentals really helps, because it helps with at least giving me a bias for how I'm going to understand our indicators, because again, they're amazing, and even on their own you can just use them. And I actually back tested, if you just use the chart prime oscillator pro plus without anything else on like a 1 hour time frame, I got like 70% wins, which is crazy. It's an indicator that basically lets you win 70% of the time. But the question then becomes, as you said, how can you improve that with your style, right? And for me, liquidity is the first thing. Second, I also look for bottoming patterns. I want the trades generally to be around the extremities, right? I find that they're the highest probabilities. Of course, when scalping, sometimes I'll look for twists, but generally, if we're at the bottom or the top, that's when I think we have a higher probability of going where we want to go. And then my final strategy is just going to be support resistance. Or the last thing I look for, support resistance, because if it's a support, we're more likely to bounce off it. If it's a resistance, unless we've got like heavy money inflow like this or crazy bullish volume, we're not getting past that resistance. Because again, what you need to break a resistance is inflow, volume, and momentum. And if you don't have those, you're not breaking past it. And that's generally how I trade. It's not that complicated. It's a
Oh, look at
three-step
you.
process, and yeah, I mean, it's what helped me with this. Here, I was looking for
My
the
dude.
ribbon twist right here, as well as the one on momentum, and
Get
I
rid of
got
your
the bottoming
background.
bars. And then I saw that 1R was also headed up, and then 1R was twisting as well, so high probability. And then I stopped at the FVG and also at the measured move. And if you join this scalp right here, which
I
we
can't
did
hear you if
live,
you're talking.
yeah, it hit the target right there. And as soon as it hit the target, we shot back down.
Absolutely. So we're getting ready to get started with the morning market report at Piper Academy show. So I need to run. I also co-hosting that
No
show.
mic.
So
No mic.
I'm gonna be seeing you guys in a little second right there. So Langstrom, thank you very much for stopping by. I'm gonna be also your sidekick here to help you answer some questions around the indicators, and of course, maybe passing it over and doing a little bit more scalping with you. I think that would be fantastic, very fun. I'm looking up to it, and well, I guess I see you guys afterwards. So thank you, Langstrom.
All right. Thank you, OC.